from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Let's take a look at the headlines. Federal government urges UN to strengthen support on recovery of terrorist-impacted areas. Tribunal admits Tinubu's 6 children killed in Russia-Ukraine war in 2022. We'll bring you details of the stories and more in a moment. First in the news is a report that the federal government has called on the United Nations and delivery and resilience of Boko Haram affected areas in Nigeria and of the Office of the National Security Advisor, ONSA, Rear Admiral Yemusk, holding at the UN headquarters in New York, United States of America, from 19 to 23 June 2023. The CT Week is CT Week being addressing terrorism through reinvigorated multilateral and institutional cooperation, and the national coordinator disclosed that the reintegration of the visit number of the government of Nigeria, hence the need for more international support to addressing the menace. In a related development, the federal government Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, George Akume, met the appeal when he received the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Richard Montgomery, and the health sectors. Meanwhile, Montgomery said the administration's reform initiatives were welcomed and pledged to consolidate the bilateral relationship. Children. AI said that it also observed that recently there has been a spontaneous rise in cases of violence against children in schools. It came into contact with parents of children who have and peers. AI disclosed that at a one-day stakeholders dialogue on ending violence against children in schools in Abuja, speaking on the desire of AI to end violence against children in schools, the active sessions profiled by stakeholders on violence against children and write these suggestions into a policy document. World leaders for the closing ceremony of the new will be more responsive, just and inclusive. It also seeks to fight inequalities, finance and climate transition, and biodiversity protection, and move closer to achieving the United Nations Sustainable Tuesday for the summit. He used the opportunity of the event to review and sign a new global financial pact that places vulnerable countries on a priority list for support and investment following the devastating impact of climate change, the energy crisis, and the COVID-19 pandemic. He is also expected to hold bilateral meetings with various countries. Meanwhile, President Tinubu has said that Nigeria is ready for business, urging foreigners yesterday in Paris, France, that ongoing reforms, including the removal of fuel subsidy and unification of exchange rate, will be sustained for a more competitive economy that attracts foreign direct investment (FDI). According to a statement by his special advisor on media and special duties communication and strategy, Dele Alake, President Tinubu assured the delegation of Afreximbank executives that the federal government will continue to stimulate the economy with policies that support investment in areas of Nigeria's.
Nigeria is now the focus globally of investors. Corporate financial institutions all over the world are now very excited about Nigeria, and specifically about the fast-paced, dynamic, progressive policies, economic policies of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In the Nigeria now are encouraged to come back to Nigeria. And the essence of this meeting, why the president is attending, is to network extensively with developed societies, donor agencies, financial institutions, and foreign investors, with a view to inviting and and really encouraging direct foreign investment back into Nigeria.
In the meantime, Vice President Kashim Shettima yesterday in Abuja said the Tinubu-led administration is committed to eradicating variant poliovirus of the end of 2023. According to him, the administration will do so by working with state government to address concerns around the financing of Nigeria's primary healthcare system. This was made known in a statement signed by the State House Director of Information, Olushola Abiola. The Vice President, who described polio as one of the major primary healthcare challenges in Nigeria, said the proposal is to provide timely domestic financing for the procurement of vaccines, which could not have come sooner, to boost their industrial capacity to produce vaccines. He affirmed that Nigeria's 3-dose pentavalent vaccine, that the variant poliovirus has declined in Nigeria by 84% from 2021, falling to fewer than 200 cases in 2022. Shettima commended the states who have achieved high category immunization coverage, which is between 60% and 80% of the target demographic. He added that the number of states have expanded from 12 to 21 states in 5 years.
Collaborative advocacy and utilization of our combined resources, 6 state governors belong to adhere to the Abuja commitments. These commitments are built on the promises to achieve a polio-free Nigeria, strengthen routine immunization, and improve primary health care under the Council's supervision. As partners, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are also going to ensure compliance with the SIATIC Declaration, which demands our governors prioritize primary health care.
Away from that, the Federation Account Allocation Committee, FAAC, says it shared a total sum of 786.161 billion naira to the federal government, state and local government areas as May allocation. This was contained in a communique issued at the end of FAAC meeting for June 2023. The meeting was chaired by the Accountant General of the Federation, Dr. Oluwatoyin Maden. According to a statement by FAAC spokesman Bawa Mokwa, Mokwa disclosed that the 786.161 billion naira total distributable revenue comprised distributable statutory revenue of 159.607 billion naira, electronic money transfer levy of 14.370 billion naira, and exchange difference revenue of 0.639. State government received 265.875 billion naira, and local government councils received 195.541 billion naira. It as 13% derivation revenue. To electoral matters now, where the Presidential Election Petitions Court has admitted certified copies of academic and work recording different names that he registered with the Independent National Electoral Commission. The documents which were tendered today include a BS certificate of service. The PDP had brought the documents through their subpoenaed witness, Mike Enahoro Eba Esquire, who noted that the documents were counsel Chris Uche, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. The witness also tendered forms EC13 and EC9 nomination forms and the letters written to INEC as attachment. Avambrosali University Ekpoma by the Edo State government, describing the development was in a mission to take education beyond the reach of the poor and average citizens of Edo and Nigeria in general. NAN's National Vice President, Inter-Campus Affairs, a state-owned university. Back here, a medical microbiologist in the University of Uyo Teaching Hospital, UUTH, Dr. Agantem Ekuma, has called at least 3 times in 10 years. The medical practitioner, who described hepatitis as an inflammation of the liver, noted that common cause of liver failure, liver cancer, and viral hepatitis-related deaths. Akuma, while disclosing that hepatitis B vaccination is for all age grades, said there is no vaccine for it is by avoiding behaviors that can spread the disease.
Yes, hepatitis is an infection of the liver. It's infection of the liver and the symptoms that are associated with it. So we have hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, D, and E. I think those are the common ones that cause hepatitis virus. So hepatitis D can occur together with hepatitis B, but it's not so common around here. Hepatitis E too, it's not very common, but it's a milder form, just like hepatitis A. So those ones are associated with food. But for hepatitis B, there is also an effective vaccine that is immunization schedule. So I think that is bringing down the prevalence of hepatitis B nowadays, especially among the younger ones. We are seeing a lower prevalence in this in that population. So for those who were not vaccinated for one reason or the other, they need to get vaccinated.
Now to Africa, where Zambia has reached a deal to restructure more than $6 billion of debt owed to other governments. The Zambia president, Hakainde Hichilema, said that the agreement marked a significant milestone in the journey towards economic recovery, noting that work is needed to continue on a separate deal with private creditors. Reports say Zambia was the first country to Africa. South African authorities say they have been notified of the deaths of at least 31 suspected illegal miners believed to be from Lesotho at a disused mine in Free State. South Africa's Department of Mineral Resources said the statement that it was informed by the Lesotho government, aware that 3 bodies have been retrieved from the mine by other illegal miners. It says of the mine to retrieve the bodies. Reports say the mine in Welcome, Free State, was last operational in the Nigerian military has reportedly claimed today to have had success in 2 areas of the southern front. A spokesman for the General Staff of Ukraine's Armed Forces, Andriy Kovalov, said in a statement that in the directions of Novodanlivka, Robotin and Malia Tokmacha Novofedorivka, the force have achieved partial success and are entrenching themselves in the achieved frontiers. The statement added that the Ukraine's port of Berdyansk. Meanwhile, the Deputy Defense Minister, Hanna Maliar, said in a telegram that in the east, Ukrainian troops have halted Russia's advance towards the cities of Kupiansk and Liman, killing 136 children in 2022 during its war of aggression against Ukraine. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said he was appalled by the killings. The report also stated that 80 children were killed by Ukrainian forces. The Russian army was included on a UN list of organizations that commit serious offenses against children in armed conflict. According to the UN list, a total of 477 children were killed in Ukraine last year, with 136 attributed to Russian forces and allies and 80 to Ukrainian troops. That there was a large number of unreported cases because of the strict guidelines for verifying such cases. Of about £55 million for Chelsea midfielder Mason Mount. Do stay with us. Our business news. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has admonished students and management of tertiary in view of its benefits. the Assistant Director, CBN, Ekiti State Branch, a cash transaction and should be utilized by all Nigerians for hit-free and at Bamidele Olumilwa University of Education, Science and Technology, Ikere Ekiti, said the exercise was to send payment of school fees by students, payment of staff salaries, as well as buying and selling within the business. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, as a treasures, adding that the move could sound the death. The Director General MAN, Shegun Ajayi Kadir, warned that the government should avoid introducing highly concerning for manufacturers to witness the electricity tariffs skyrocketing beyond the present and battling high prices starting July 1st. NAFDAC has said all noodles made in Nigeria are safe for consumption. Come of the investigation into the presence of ethylene oxide or its may not found in any of the instant noodles produced. Over the presence of ethylene oxide, a compound associated with an increased risk of health. Governor Inuwa Yahaya of Gombe State has assented to the Drugs and Medical Consumer General Press Affairs Government House, Ismaila Misili, has asked the Gombe State Drugs and Medical Consumable Drugs and other medical consumables in the speed of about £55 million for Chelsea midfielder Mason Mount. The Old Trafford are thought to value the England on his contract, and talks about an extension have stalled. Gareth Southgate's squad for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Reports say 2017 to 2018 season, scoring 9 goals in 29 Eredivisie. McGinn has signed a new contract to stay with the Premier League club until 2020. He scored the decisive second goal in the 2019 Championship Player Final to earn Villa promotion back to the Premier League, and has been in competitions during the 2022 to 2023 season. He has also made 184 appearances for Villa, scoring 17 goals. Nigerian singer Burna Boy as the first African artist to hit 1 billion streams. Burna Boy as an internationally acclaimed musician and demonstrates the power and reach of the music. Meanwhile, Burna Boy expressed his gratitude to his fans and Audiomack, saying he is actress Omotala Jalade Ekende says Nollywood was the first to introduce the country's as she reminisced about her contributions to the Nollywood industry before the innovation of social media. She shared the old movie clips with some which had Rita Dominic, Genevieve Naji, and Stella Damasus in them. On what nations Ozoko in it. I know all of which you can find on our website spectrumtv.ng. Also follow us on Twitter. Good afternoon.